Didn't even see a raindrop until I turned in on the section. And I think I'll be all right. Sometimes it beats this way. It's perfectly pretty when you leave out. And then you notice that the sky darkens a little bit. And then the next thing you know, off in the far distance, you think you've seen a... Well, I was sitting in the doorway. I don't know if you can see where I'm sitting, but there's the doorway. That's behind me. Look at that. I'm in the doorway and I'm sitting on my button. Look at that. Sometimes it beats this way. It's perfectly pretty when you leave out. And then you notice that the sky darkens a little bit. And then the next thing you know, off in the far distance, you think you've seen a flash of lightning. And then all of a sudden, as you're trying to pedal back from your location that you went to, the sky just gets darker and darker. And then the next thing you know, you say, where can I go if the bottom falls out this sunbum? And I said, I'm going to make it to the church. Well, I made it. And I'm going to have to just ride back after the rain. There was a big flash of lightning back towards Ozark. This has got to pass. Once it passes, the roads are going to be wet. And I don't like riding on wet roads no more. I like riding in the rain. But sometimes it just bees that way. It just, nature needs to water its plants and things. You have to just love it. I didn't even check the rain weather report when I left out. I checked it a couple of days ago, and it looked like it was going to be pretty for the next 4 or 5 days. But, yeah, it's beautiful. The smell smells good. The dampness in the air, the wind has stopped blowing. It's just barely moving, circulating. But it had been blowing pretty dadgum hard out of the southeast. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, but I'm not going to get off on it in this video. I'm just going to tell you this. How did I do it? Right? Dadgummit. Yeah, right over there. Right over there. That's my Twitter page. And right now it's my blog page. You got to go to my Twitter page and my blog page, and you got to go to buddyhuggins.com. That takes you to my blog page. But I can't talk about all the crazy stuff going on because it triggers the algorithm mess. I think everybody that is questioning things and starting to look stuff up, I think something's triggering them to go deeper than they've ever went before and to ask good questions. I want to say they're wakening up, but it ain't for me to say was they asleep at the beginning of anything. I know I was. I was here on this planet for 43 years until August 17, 2003. And I've been living in a state of bliss and joy ever since that event happened in my life. Now, have I had rainy days? Hell yeah. Have I had sad days? Hell yeah. But overall, compared to where I was in my young life, my teenage life, and my so-called adult life in the 20s and 30s, hell, you're still a baby. You'd be 30 years old and dumb as dirt. But there is a truth and a reality that transcends all of our knowledge. Because if we're dependent on this outer world to give us informational, factual, historical, written on concrete, written on tablets, written somewhere, you can best bet if it's coming from the best of those so-called news sources, it's not the truth. It's camouflaged as the truth, but what makes it a true is when you look it up and you do your deep dive research stuff. And if you've never done that, you got to question, why haven't I ever done that? It's because you trust these assholes. Quit trusting them. I'm going to tell you, they don't have your best interest at heart. I can love you. They can kill you and tell you they love you. This is an upside down world. There's only something within you that can penetrate and animate your reality to become one that you create with your thinking. But first you got to wake up. It's that simple. Y'all have a good day. That's all I got to say about that. Ooh, here come a thunderbolt. Ooh. That was a big one. Y'all have a good one. Listen to that thunder and hear that rain. I just made it to the church and didn't even see a raindrop until I turned in on the sidewalk. Walk over here where, oh yeah, it's covered now, the raindrops. But as I turned in, I seen 6 raindrops, made it around to the building, one big old thunderclap before I could crank the camera up, and it started raining. This ain't good. I'm gonna melt. I can't get wet. Look, if you're gonna ride a bicycle, you're gonna get it caught in rain. It happens. But no better place to be stuck right now than at this beautiful church. Look at the stonework. Look at it. Handrail. I remember when they put this extended piece of sidewalk in here for them people that needed a wheelchair entryway. I think I'm gonna miss most of it because most of it's in Springfield. And for the people that know, that's south, that's north, that direction. And I think I'll be all right. I'll just wait it out. Oh, Yeah, you look back over there, you can see sky. That's a good thing. All right, I'm stuck in the rain. Let me think about something to say. Maybe I can do that.